Hello, today we are talking about dispatchers. What would be a perfect dispatcher? Well, as we all know, there are no perfect people in this world, but it's just a saying. It's maybe a way to encourage someone to be better at their job. So let's just call this video What's a Perfect Dispatcher? Anyway, a perfect dispatcher means someone that will do their job correctly and that will give 110% of their power, their knowledge, and their willingness to help and to learn. Now, you have to be willing to learn as well, not just learn new things, not just learn new ways and new tricks, but learn to listen, learn to implement things that you have learned. If you read something and you don't implement it, it's a waste of time. It's just consumption. You're not putting that knowledge into practice. Okay, so if you learn something new, if you hear something or read something, then you should implement it. Otherwise, it's just entertainment. Okay, you haven't done anything productive with that knowledge. So a perfect dispatcher in our industry is the one who listens to drivers. Okay, who listens and not just listens but acts upon that new knowledge. So if a driver tells you, well, I don't like heavy loads, well, don't even offer that driver a heavy load. If your driver does not want to go to Massachusetts, for example, then don't even offer that driver that load. If your driver does not want to work at night or during weather storms, during snow, then don't even send that driver into those regions and don't book them loads that have to go get there overnight. So that's called listening and acting upon it. What else does a perfect dispatcher do? A perfect dispatcher comes to work even before the official work time. If you start at 8, don't come at 8. If you come at 8, you're already late. Be there at 7:30, 7:45, maybe even 7:50, or maybe 7 a.m. If you're at your work at 8 a.m., by the time you turn on your computer, you start drinking your coffee, you see something on your computer or internet, like a new email that comes in, and then you start reading about it, and then you try to solve that or answer right away, or maybe you see some news and then or a YouTube video, you get sidetracked, and then you will spend 10 minutes, even more, doing that. You're not going to be looking for loads. That's your job. The first thing you get, like when you get to work, is to look for loads. That's your first thing, unless you have something that's very, very important. Well, in that case, get there early and finish that before 8 a.m. because your drivers will expect you to be ready to answer phone calls at 7:59, and the brokers will start calling you. And not just that, the loads will be getting booked, So good loads usually get booked before 8, okay? And then if you wait till 8:10, and then maybe after, you've done all that, like we just were talking about, then you're like, oh, yeah, now I have to go to bathroom, or I have to do something else. Then, you're going to be late even more, okay? And the whole world is ahead of you. And then there is no way you're going to succeed like that, for you personally, and then even with your drivers, your customers, the brokers you're working with. When they start noticing that you're always late, that you're not to be trusted, then, they may tolerate it for a while, but then most likely they will leave for someone else, okay? So that's a very important thing. A perfect dispatcher gets to work first, okay? What else? Perfect dispatcher is professional. Answers the phones, answers the emails, follows up, gets back when they promised that they will get back. Let's say you have a driver that has a problem, and then you told the driver that you will get back to him or her in 15 minutes, and then 30 minutes is already passed, and you still haven't gotten back to the driver. And it can be even a text message. It doesn't have to be a phone call, just to let them know, hey, I'm working on it. I still haven't heard back from the broker or whatever you're working on, and then I will call you very soon. So when you say that you're gonna follow up, do it. Don't just say it. Okay. If you can't remember it, and then I tend to forget things a lot. Write it down. Okay. I have notepads. I have an app on my phone, on my computer, and then usually my calendar. That helps me a lot. It makes you look more professional, and you will be more productive, and people will love you because of that. I've had dispatchers, even when I was driving, you're at delivery or pickup and you need something really urgently, or you need a lumper fee paid, and they don't even get back to you. And then you have to call them, oh yeah, he went to lunch, or, they forgot about you. And that's just, it's not showing respect, that's not a good thing to do. A perfect dispatcher is talkative, okay? You don't have to be smiling the whole time. Of course you can't, because you're going to be mad that, anything related to this work is stressful, okay? But at least be professional and be talkative. When someone asks you a question, answer it. Don't just sit there and don't even talk too much. That's also not good. But the one of the main things of this job is that you have to be talking. You have to talk. Okay, if you're shy, maybe this job is not for you, or maybe you have to learn how to talk better and more on the phone or to people in your office. I know dispatchers who are very quiet, but once they sit behind this desk, then they start talking, they start doing their job, and then they're very active. Okay, so you have to teach yourself to be like that. Well, why? How to do that? Well, go to bed early. Don't go to bed late, and then you can't get up early for your work. And then even if you get up early, even when you get up and you come back to work, then you're tired, you're grumpy, you don't want to talk to anyone, and that's normal. So what's the solution? Well, go to bed early, okay? And then usually these younger guys, they tend to be into dispatching jobs now, and what I see is like they stay up late, watching movies, partying, hanging out with their friends, and then in the morning they're late, and they are not in good mood. Okay, maybe they have a hangover too. Well, grow up, and this is a job. Someone put their trust into you. You have a driver that's on the road, away from home and family. They have to drive late into night. They have to get up early to be there in time. The least you can do for those drivers to show them respect and compassion is that you start working on time, and that you do your job, okay? Because that's what you're getting paid for, to do a certain job. Another thing that describes a perfect dispatcher is being available. Now, you don't have to you're not in military, okay? You are not doing something that it's a matter of life and death, and emergency responders or something like that. But you have to be available, where at least if someone calls you, you can call them back within 5, 10, 15 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes, at most. But you have to be available to answer the phone through 24/7. So even during night, when everyone is asleep, your drivers that drive, maybe they need help with something. During the weekend, they might be driving too, picking up a load, something might be going on, and you are their to-go person. They're not gonna call their family member. They're not gonna call, the big boss, if you have one, or police, or the shipper, or the broker. They're gonna call you, because you're working. You're kind of like partners in this. You're managing everything in your office, and they are the ones that are actually delivering those loads. But in case they need someone available to call on something, or help them out in emergency, that's you. Okay, so you have to be that person. That would be a perfect dispatcher. There are, of course, a lot of little things there that we could talk about for hours. Maybe we can do another video like this, but these are just some key points. Okay, if you learn to do everything that I just said now, the other little things, they will come together. Eventually you will learn them by yourself, because you're paying attention, you're willing to learn, you're being there on time for your drivers, and you're being there to answer their calls. Okay, so even if you make mistakes, and everyone of course makes mistakes, even the best drivers, the best dispatchers, whoever, at least own those mistakes. If you make a mistake, well, then admit it. Say, hey, it was my fault. I learned something from that mistake. I will do my best not to do it again. And then you will, of course, like we said, learn something, and next time you'll do it better. But at least you tried. At least you were there to help. At least you gave 100% of your power, or even more, to resolve that problem. So that's about it for this time, and come back for more videos. Like it, subscribe, and then I'll see you around. Thanks for watching.